Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Chris with Inside the U. As you can see, I'm here at Mark Light Field. The Miami Hurricanes baseball team just wrapped up practice, as well as interviews afterwards with Coach Arteaga and 5 players. I'll get into some comments, but the Hurricanes are coming off a series win against Louisville. Alex Sosa was the star for the Hurricanes. 9 hits, 9 RBIs, 3 home runs, up to 15 on the season, switching over to first base. Typically has been the team's catcher this season, has been the DH. He's been dealing with a little bit of some shoulder inflammation. When I talked to him about it, it didn't seem like it's really bothering him that much at the plate at all. And he's hopeful to kind of get back out there at catcher, but we'll see. He said he'll go wherever the coaches put him. And that also kind of depends with Brylan West, who's dealing with the first baseman, dealing with a little bit of an ankle injury. But I was out here at practice, watching Brylan go through batting practice, looked good to me. Also went through some fielding, and again, he looked good. So I asked Coach Arteaga about what he thought about Brylan, how he thought he looked, and he thought he looked good too. So I would expect Brylan to be back in the lineup, and if so, you could see Sosa back at DH. But again, it kind of just depends on Brylan, his mobility, his ability to play first base, and Alex does not have a lot of experience playing first base, so that's just something to watch for. But you know, in watching Sosa go through batting practice with Alex there, you know, he's having a big year. It's the best year of his career in college after a couple years at NC State. And just watching his swing, and I'll post the video so you can see it, but just a really compact swing. It really gets on top of it, does a really good job of driving the ball, really does a good job of hitting the ball hard. And that obviously always gives you a chance for base hits or extra base hits, as he's been able to pile up this season. He's been a key to the Hurricanes. Derek Williams out in right field has been a huge key for this team's success this year, having a big offensive season, as this team has kind of been dealing with Daniel Cuvée out of the lineup, and you know, has not played since April 22nd, has been dealing with a stress fracture in his back, and really no update. Coach Arteaga said he's continuing to meet with doctors, and really the biggest takeaway is they don't have a timetable. He's not able to do anything really to get back out. You know, as you can tell with your back, it affects everything you do. It's not like a hand injury where he could kind of work on the exercise bike to deal with his legs, you know, and still keep that up to date. Or, you know, if he has a foot injury, kind of still doing some upper body stuff. No, with the back, it affects everything you do, especially in baseball, but really all sports. So he's been taking it slow, and, you know, and with this team and kind of been how they've been dealing with everything all season, there's been key guys in and out of the lineup. You know, Max Galvin goes down for 25 games, a left fielder, he's back in the lineup. You know, Van Sheehan, you know, he's a guy, shortstop, missed 7 games. So they've been dealing with it. Brylan West, there's just been guys in and out of the lineup, key guys. And this team has just kind of done a really good job of staying afloat, and they're in position this week against Florida State, at Florida State, number 11 team in the country. Florida State right now is tied for 3rd in the ACC. This is the final week of the series, of the regular season, at 17-10 with Florida State. Miami in 5th place at 15-12. So they're hoping to get one of those top 4 seeds for the ACC tournament the following week, next week in Charlotte, where you can get that double bye. That certainly would be a big thing. But if there's seeds 5 through 8, they'll get that single bye. So that's just something to watch for. But for me, I think this is just a key series for this team to gain momentum heading into postseason play. You know, last year they didn't really have it, but they still reeled off a bunch of wins at the end and got to the Super Regionals. But ideally, you like to be playing really good baseball and winning games the way that you'd like to win games in terms of your identity. So this team wants to rely on its starting pitching. They're starting to get some things worked out a little bit in the bullpen, but certainly an area of concern at times with how things have gone in the bullpen. But, you know, Glidewell's kind of stepped into that closer role. He's 4 of 5 in save opportunities, and I think he's done a really good job. You know, his strikeout rate is high and his walk rate has been pretty low. So I think he's done a good job, and I think that gives him a chance to kind of close out games as he's been doing, as he stepped into this closer role. You know, and, you know, kind of with these pitchers, Rob Evans leading the way from the front there, has taken over as the opening night starter to the series. And, you know, talking with Coach Arteaga, or asked, you know, Alex Sosa about what's made Rob so good. You know, kind of asked JD, you know, what's made him, you know, how much has he meant to this team, and things that stand out to me. And also asked Rob a question of his last start. And look, it kind of just seems to be this consistent approach to how he goes about it, and not just start to start, but Alex was saying just even pitch to pitch, he doesn't really shake off pitches. You know, the pitch comes from the dugout, and you know, Rob essentially goes with it, and you know, just that mentality to whatever is asked of him, he goes out and tries to apply it. I think it's big. I think that's certainly a good sign. So certainly starting pitching is going to be big. It always is, but certainly this time of year, in this type of environment, this type of series, but other guys have to step up as well. And I think it's important. You know, last weekend I thought it was good for the offense, 32 runs in those 3 games. Now they give up 32 runs, but they win 2 of 30. But I just thought it was good for the offense to have a big series like that offensively in the ACC, which has kind of eluded them at times this year. So good momentum, I think, going into this Florida State series. And look, the way it stands right now, you know, Miami could be a 2 or a 3 seed in the regional. So it doesn't look like they're going to host unless they get really hot, you know, a big series against Florida State or winning the ACC, whatever it might be. But I just don't see them hosting a regional. So that's why this is going to be a big series going at Florida State. It's going to be a little bit of a regional environment. This is what you're going to expect. A team like that, a quality opponent like that, you're going to be expected to kind of come out of the regional. And look, everything kind of changes in terms of format and, you know, the bracket, the double elimination format for the NCAA regional there. That's going to be in a couple weeks, but all eyes on that. But I think this is a good test and certainly a good opportunity for this team. And Coach Arteaga mentioned it. Look, they've not faced, he knows it, they've not faced those top teams. This team did not face Georgia Tech or North Carolina in the regular season. They didn't have to face Virginia either. So they know, you know, he said, you know, this is just this is a great opportunity for this team to make a statement. So I know they're looking forward to it. Derek Williams was talking about what it was like when Florida State came here last year, just the environment. He's looking forward to going up there. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. And certainly going to be a challenge for Miami to walk away with the series win, but if they do, I think it's going to give them a lot of momentum going to the ACC tournament and then in 2 weeks into the NCAA tournament. But thanks for watching. Definitely stay tuned to the channel. I'll post some batting practice videos. I got really close. We get a chance to see these guys, you know, how well they swing it. It was impressive, you know, watching Dylan in particular, freshman, has had a good year, good impact for this team, watching him up close. I touched on Sosa, you know, Derek Williams, you know, Jake Ogden as well, the other guys, you know, multiple guys. So definitely stay tuned to the channel for that. But thanks for watching. Have a good rest of the day and take care.
Like DPS no sound. Brady?